YouTube family, it's Busy B10. I'm coming at y'all today with another video about David Dupre Jr. You know, situation, touchy little situation. He on a parole revocation. About he was something supposed to have done harm his daughter like battery, but he only said that he spanked her with a belt. And he told the parole board this here now. This ain't what I said, this is what he said. But come to find out, medical records said that it was strangulation marks to the neck, broken ribs, fractured finger. But he said he only, spanked her with the belt, and that occurred because she tried to throw a vase at his head and didn't want to listen to that. She couldn't go by her friend's house, was mad that she took the phone, woo-de-woo. But I don't know, I wasn't there, I ain't the judge. Only thing I'm just saying that I believe in disciplining your kids in certain manners and certain extent, but I'm not on that when we hurting them, you know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, and that it's not cool. We not trying to hurt our kids. We here for the help guide them. We need more parents like that. If they want to think about guiding them and making sure they go in the right direction, but we're not here to brutalize them, down them, knock them down. We're here to encourage them, make them keep going, keep them, focused straight on that straight, narrow road. That's what we're here for, to take care of them and love them. But we're not here to hurt them. I don't believe in that. But that's enough talking. Let this video get started. Before y'all do, I want y'all to know this. Tap that like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you do that first for one thing. And share. Let's get into this thing.
And felony cruelty to a juvenile by Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. On May 11th, 2023, you deferred your hearings. On November 30th, 2023, an amended bill was filed changing the charge to simple battery, to which you pled guilty and were ordered to have no contact with the victim in this matter unless given permission by a DCFS civil court judge. You received 6 months in the parish prison. How do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Well, I pleaded out to that.
No, I'm talking specifically just about your conditions of parole. Do you plead guilty or not guilty to violating condition number 4 of your supervision condition?
Not guilty.
Right. And lastly, condition number 10, you're $378 behind on your monthly supervision fee. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, so let's talk about condition number 4. You were going to talk to us about that. Tell us, you pled guilty to simple battery, but you pled not guilty to violating your conditions. Tell us about it.
Well, I didn't have nothing to do with that. My daughter sent in a paperwork saying that she had lied about the situation, and my daughter was never supposed to be taken out of our custody because they said she had broken ribs and fractured fingers. So once the people put her into a different family, and she wound up telling the truth that didn't happen, they wound up wanting to bring her back. But we've been trying to get help for our daughter since she's been getting in trouble. She's been breaking into houses and everything. And I told her I was about to put her in a young Marine program, and this when all this stuff took place. But we had all kinds of documents and all that stuff.
All right. So Mr. Dupre, you're saying none of that happened, but in the police report, you admit to striking your daughter with the belt 3 times.
Yes, ma'am.
It says she tried to hit you with a vase, and then she did sustain injury. She had a fractured finger, broken ribs, and strangulation marks, and this was confirmed by medical records.
Yeah, no, none of that never happened. They showed all that in the court.
Well, how does the medical records are not true?
Yeah, ma'am. She went to school that day. She has a counselor at school. This took place way after she got out of school. She had a counselor that she could have reported this to, She had a friend of hers come pick her up from school and bring her to the hospital. I did not strangle my daughter or nothing like that. She picked up a vase, tried to hit me with it the day she ran away because she had got in trouble at school for talking about having sex with a guy at school in the boys' bathroom.
So
Only
there
thing
was
I
some
did-
argument over a pair of shoes.
Yeah, that was half of the part of it. That's a story she told y'all, but that's not the real story. She got in trouble for me and her mom because she was talking about having unapproved sex in school in the boys' bathroom when we had already took her tablet and her phone away from her being in the diversion program for breaking into people's houses. If I was going to strike my daughter, did anything harmful to her, she would have been getting in trouble. I never put my hands on none of my kids. Only reason why she got disciplined that day because she picked up a vase and ran at me talking about she was about to kill me and kill herself. I have 7 other kids. Yeah, I mean, I don't discipline my kids like that at all.
So did you
So
strike her
if
with
anything
belt?
happened to her after that, when she got out of school, that must have been something that whoever her and that person did that to her because I never strangled her not one time. And I had the rest of the kids at the house at the time when this stuff took place.
Right.
And if she had fractured fingers, she wouldn't even be able to write while she was at school. She went through a whole day of school. That's why I'm trying to tell the people that she lied. None of this stuff never happened. I don't understand how you can write a whole day of school. You participated in PE and everything, your dance class and everything, and then you go to a hospital after you get out of school and say that this happened to you. You had somebody pick you up from school, and the girl who you were trying to go stay with, and lie for you and say that this happened to you.
Well, Mr. Dupre, I don't think medical records lie. And that's why
I
I'm
never-
having trouble listening, hearing what you're saying. Your version is totally different than what the record says. So let's
know.
move on. How long have you been in jail?
I've been here a year, ma'am.
Been in jail a year. And
Yes,
where,
ma'am.
to your knowledge, where is Dazini? How do you pronounce it?
Design
Dazini?
is Dupre. She's in her 3rd foster care. The people been trying to get me to take the classes to get my daughter back since like a month after this happened, way last year of April or May. But I couldn't take the classes. I had a court date today. They asked me last time I went to court, did I want to give my daughter back? We told them yes. So they wait for me to finish with this so I can start taking the classes to get her back home.
Who's waiting? Who's waiting?
DCFS and the parenting classes.
Okay, and they don't have them there where you're at?
No, they don't have them. The judge at the juvenile place recommended that the visitations and stuff to start, but they didn't have them here. So the last time I went to court, they was asking me when I was going to be finished with this so I could start taking the parenting class so my daughter could get back. But I told them I had to go in front of the parole board.
And so let's see, you backing up a lot of time, 2033, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So at the time that this all took place, whatever happened, were you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And you mentioned you have 7 children, 6 or
I have
7?
6 other children. I have 6 other kids besides her.
And you're the father of all those children?
Yes, ma'am. Except the 19-year-old son.
So 6 of them are your children.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the age ranges of the 6 of your children?
23, 16. Design is 13, and I got a 11 and a 7 and an 8-month-old baby.
So where's the 19-year-old?
He stays with us.
So you have 23 and you
The
didn't mention,
23-year-old doesn't stay with us.
and 19 does?
Yes, ma'am.
19, 16, 13, 11, 7 in less than a year stay in your household, except
Yes,
for 13 right now. Designing.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Where's your wife today?
She's at court right now with the situations that's going on.
Explain that. Yeah, you just mentioned that they
We-
were continuing.
We had another court date today. We had another court date today for my wife. She was supposed to start bringing some paperwork so we can start taking the classes. She was out. We didn't take the classes because she was out due to having a baby at the time also. and she was having complications with the pregnancy, so she didn't ever start the classes at the time also. So she started her first class, which was yesterday. But we've been trying to get help for our daughter. That's why this procedure been going on so long with the court system, because we've been trying to give my daughter help. We've been trying to get her put on medicine since she was a kid. No one never wanted to give us any help. The schools, the diversion program, when she got arrested, she's been seeing a counselor. They ain't give us no help, but now they trying to give us some help now. She's supposed to be taking medicine, but she's not on medicine yet.
All right, I don't have any other questions. I'm part of my colleagues.
Mr. Dupre, have you used any drugs since you've been out?
No, sir.
You've been drug tested since you've been out.
Yes, sir.
And it's your claim that y'all had a little thing that morning. You did whip her with a belt.
Yes, sir.
Went to school. And then later that day, she went to the hospital with a broken finger and broken ribs.
It happened October 16th at 11 o'clock at night. She
Right.
she ran away from home. I called the cops. I got her back home, and we went to talking about it. So that's when that place took a curve with her picking up the vase, running at me because she knows she was punished. But after that happened, I sat her down, talked to her. We talked. I told her I love her, I want the best for her. Then she went to school. She got up with her other sister, and they went to school. I didn't get a phone call till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon saying that my daughter's been taken out of our custody because she had broken ribs and fractured fingers. That was it. None of this stuff never happened.
So you think it happened at school?
She never had any broken ribs. That's the thing. Or fractured fingers. I don't know how that even must come about.
I have no further questions.
All right, is there anything you'd like to say to us to close it out for us?
Excuse me?
Is there anything you want to say to us before we make a decision?
I'm just begging that y'all show me mercy through y'all system, because I couldn't get any help here. From the reports she told the people, she admitted that she lied, she was mad, and she was ashamed of what she did, and that I got all kinds of documents from here, even from off the recorded phone that she lied. We tried to present it to the DA. They said that she was being manipulated into saying this stuff, and when she wasn't at all.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Dupre, why did you plead to simple battery? If none of this happened, why did you make that deal?
Because they didn't want to give me no help. The DA said that my daughter's being bribed into saying this. And then after that, my wife was dealing with postpartum, and I had been in here this long, and then my lawyer was like, the judge don't believe in any kind of discipline at all. Even though I did hit her with the belt because she attacked me with the vase, he said she's not going to show me any kind of mercy. So he said that you probably have a better chance going in front of the parole board. So I said that's why I just take my chance dealing with the parole board, because I had trial set twice and they kept sending me back.
Okay, Mr. Dupre, we got it. I'm gonna make a motion for executive session. Can you get a second?
I
We have a second. Could you do the roll call, please?
Cheryl Renowski.
Yes, Parker, about what's going on with her. So we just need a little more information before we can make an informed decision. I realize you've been in jail a long time. We'll try to get that information as quickly as we can. So we'll see you as quickly as we can to make a decision. Your mic, y'all are on mute.
All right, there you go. Excuse me, my wife wasn't home at the time.
Well, we still want to hear from her.
Okay.
So that's my vote. I'm going to ask Mrs. Ledoux.
I'm concerned about you and your daughter in this, and I don't have enough information to make a good decision that would, that I feel comfortable with. So I'm gonna vote to continue.
Mr. Freeman.
I concur, really, we need your wife here to talk to us, tell us what happened in court today. We want to see which way it's headed, and I want to speak to the caseworker just to see what we're dealing with, because we don't really know.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Dupre. Good morning. Y'all are on mute.
Good morning.
All right, good morning, Mr. Dupree. For the
Yes.
record, sir, introduce yourself, tell us your name and your DOC number.
David Dupre, 437-808.
All right, and so welcome back.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have let me introduce the panel members today because you should recognize Mr. Freeman, but this is Mrs. Stapleton. We are
Yes,
your, you appeared before a parole panel, let's see, March 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at that time, I read your allegations for parole violations into the record. It was parole, it was condition number 4, you pled not guilty. It was condition number 10, you pled not guilty. The panel that day continued your hearing because we felt like we needed additional information.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
all that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you still maintain that you're not guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Since then, we have obtained additional information, and we do have some folks who are here today. Let me recognize them. We have Kel Taylor, Lashana Johnson, and Gwendolyn Pasos, who all
Yes, ma'am.
are here, and they want to speak on your behalf. So we have all reviewed the record and the proceedings from the last hearing, so we're going to just jump right in and hear from the folks. First, we'd like to hear from Ms. Taylor.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Raquel Taylor. Can you give my baby, please? I'm Designing Dupre's mother.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, we didn't understand you.
I'm Raquel Taylor. I'm Designing Dupre's mother. I'm the mother. I was in Texas and I had came back the next day when all of it took place, but I was on the phone. When it took place, I received the call. David Dupre didn't know nothing about what was going on. I was contacted by Designing Dupre, and after I got off the phone with Designing Dupre telling me that she was by my cousin's house, the mother, which is my cousin, she talked to me and said that Designing Dupre was over there. And she wanted to let me know that she was over there, that she was bringing her home because she didn't want to be in trouble for Designing leaving the house, running away, and come to her house. And she informed me that Designing did say she didn't want her dad talking to her or telling her that she was going to kill him and then kill herself. When I talked to Designing, she said, "Mom, can I sleep over here?" I said, "No, I don't allow you to sleep out. Anything can happen sleeping out." And she informed me, well, if I have to go back to the house, I'm going to kill him and then kill myself afterwards because she didn't want him to tell her anything. So I told him to call the police so they can escort her out. I said, they'll keep her for a day. And
Okay, we have all that. So where is Designing now?
Designing, she's with a lady in DCFS staff Designing. So she's with someone else at the moment. She's not with me.
And are you back in Louisiana?
Yes, ma'am. I've been back. I came right back home.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want us to know?
No, ma'am, but I did want you to know Designing was stating that it started over some shoes, ma'am, and that's not the case. I did buy shoes when I was in Texas and I got it delivered to the house. But that was not the case of shoes. It was the text message she had in her phone. I punished Designing from a year from her cell phone, from breaking and entering in someone's home. So she went to jail for breaking in someone's home. So I gave her a punishment. Her punishment was, I'm gonna keep your phone for a year. My daughter, which is 16 years old, was sneaking and letting her use the phone, and she was on the phone texting some inappropriate things to boys that she was saying sexually. It broke me down, and I was pregnant at the time, so I'm pregnant and I'm crying. I was like, what if something happened to her? She can catch anything, she can get pregnant, then I'd be having a baby, have to raise her baby, her and her sibling. And I informed David Dupre what was going on because he had no idea. He had just came home from work and he was inside cooking, so he had no idea to nothing that was going on. I had to let him know what was going on. He didn't even know what she was.
Okay. So your relationship with David Dupre is what?
That's my fiance. That's my kid's mother. We have 6 kids together.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Is Lashana there with you?
No, ma'am.
Johnson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'd like to hear from Lashana Johnson. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Do you want me to mute it now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, that would be helpful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm LaShayna Johnson. I am Raquel Taylor's cousin. After that incident took place, Desani was sent to my mother's house, upon Gwendolyn Passos. Upon meeting Desani, the injury that she says she sustained, she had no injuries. And the splint that she had, she took that off the same night and got her nails done. And since Desani had been around us, she had stirred up a lot of trouble. She was stealing, and my mom wound up sending her back because of that. So any allegations that she's saying, a lot of it wasn't, I don't think it was true, because she was stirring up a lot of mess of family when she came to stay over here.
All right, well, thank you. And that's Miss Gwendolyn is with you.
Yes.
There's something
Good
she'd like
morning.
to say as well?
Yeah, my name is Gwendolyn Passos, and on the night that I was called to go down to Children's Hospital to get Desani from Children's Hospital, on entering the hospital facility, I saw Desani walking around. So she didn't look like anyone that was injured to me, but anyway, I said, okay, I would take her to my home. So when I got her, I live in Kenner. So when I got her to my home, I examined her to see if she had any bruises. She had no visible bruises on her. She did have a splint on her finger, which she took off. And she didn't have it, but she on her finger because she took it off the same night. So I brought her to get her nails done. She was doing hair, and I was planning to keep Desani because I told my niece Raquel Taylor to bring me her birth certificate and her social security card. But getting into my house, I had 3 rules for her: don't lie, don't steal, and clean up after yourself. She broke all of the rules within a week being there. She was stealing. She tried to hack her husband's bank account, and that's when I said, okay, she can't stay. She cannot stay with me because she's doing too much within a week time that she's in my house. And she had no bruises on her. Where they're saying that she had injured fingers, none of that is so. None of that was so.
All right, well, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate all of taking the time today to meet with us and provide input. Mr. Dupre, back to you.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to say to us?
Like I say, all this stuff happened on March 16th at 10 o'clock that night when my daughter attacked me. And I did tell you I disciplined her with the belt, but my
Got him! Got him!
daughter got up, which was March 17th, and went to school. She did her hair, put her shoes on, everything. She went to school, and she has a counselor at school that she can tell anything who she speaks with every day. If anything happened to her, she speaks with these people all the time because she has a behavior problem. None of this was even brought up. I never hurt my daughter at all. But all I get was a phone call after she get out of 8 periods of class, and she plays the PE in the dance class, and then say that I'm being persecuted for something I ain't do, talking about a fractured finger and a broken ribs. I'm like, if that was the case, how she was able to go to sleep that night, get up, get dressed, do her hair, and then go through 8 periods of class, and then go to a hospital after school and say that I did it. The best place was to report that is at school, not after school. So something had to happen to her at school that she lied on me so she can get out of the house with me and her mom because she don't like following the rules. And the rules are just as simple as anybody else's rules. Make sure you do your chores and clean up behind yourself. Take care of yourself. She don't like following those orders for some reason. And they're very simple. The same rules I had coming up. And I mean, it's not a burden at all. So she's just a child that just don't like to be told nothing, which is I've been trying to get her help. No one ever want to give us help.
Now, hopefully she's getting the help she needs now. I make a motion. Session, can I get?
I'll second.
We have a second. Could you do the roll call, please?
Cheryl Renat,
Yes.
Steve Freeman,
Yes.
Karen Bates.
Yes. Mr. Dupree, we'll be in executive session. It's 9:25. Now, we have, I have at least thoroughly reviewed all the documentation that was provided to us by the medical records, the DCFS reports, and we've listened very carefully to the testimony here today. I would tell you, I'm hoping, as you say, it's your hope that Design is getting the help she needs. I hope that's what's happening for her now. My vote today in the matter of your revocation hearing, though, is you pled guilty to simple battery. So my vote today is to revoke your parole. Mrs. Stapleton.
I agree with Mrs. Renasis for the same reasons.
Mr. Freeman.
I concur.
All right, sir. Today your parole is being revoked. You'll have the opportunity to reapply for another parole hearing. We'll send you instructions on how and when you're able to. Luck to you, sir.
And one more thing, family. Share this thing. You heard me? Share it for real though, because that really helped the channel, you know, to get our people up, you know, because there's all positive vibes over here. You know, we're showing things that we don't get to see, hear about, swept under the rug. And, you know, bringing this to y'all, like I said, you know, this is very entertaining to me. And I like to bring it to you all. So let's have fun with this thing. Let's get this around, you know, to everybody.